Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Summit 2 by G2A.com America Division. It's day number 5 of America, and we got 5 best of ones for you. We did see in the previous game it was the sneaky Nyx Assassins who came out on top, going against Union Gaming on the back of a TC Terrorblade and just some fantastic siege and pushing power. And now we're going to see a matchup between Pain Gaming going against HamHam Clubhouse, also known as the Gerg Squad. Another sweet South American versus North American fiesta. I'm loving it so far. Been by my side so far, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Travis Mott Bueno. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm great, man. I'm Gerging. It up.
You're Gerging hard. You're Gerging so hard right now. You're stiff as a board.
You know what? Listen, I'm not comfortable. This camera on me. I gotta say, I feel a little bit inadequate, but that's okay because HamHam Clubhouse versus Pain Gaming should be a good one. Mm-hmm. Pain Gaming, who commonly go back and forth between Pain and CNB and whatever else they're called, I believe. I'm excited because this is a good squad. They've been around for a while. King RD is a legend in the South American scene. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm excited how they do up against HamHam Clubhouse, who, have some very good players in their own right. I don't really know much about Reality or Karis, which I believe might be Chrysalid, but we talk about Pandago, Dark Falco, and MSS. These guys have all been around in multiple different squads, and they play a variety of different roles as well. So we'll see what happens coming out for both squads here.
I almost like to call most of the group here in the HamHam Clubhouse like the NA Dota orphans. They just constantly are trying to find a home.
Yes.
All over the place, a hodgepodge mix of players who just kind of come together, whether it's playing together in NEL, playing in the Evening Cup Series matches, here in these kind of tournaments thrown together. They had a nice little ESL run through the qualifiers as Gerg Squad, but they are now up the name of HamHam Clubhouse, so just so there's not too much confusion out there. And also Pain Gaming, who have been Pain Gaming for a little bit now. They were formerly known as and sponsored by CMB Esports, but they're still the strong squad as they were. And just to kind of reflect on what you said, King RD, I know, and a certain other NA Dota legend, Mr. Grand, he thinks that King RD is probably the best player right now in the Southern American scene. So no pressure to him to see how strong he performs in this one. As far as I was going to say how it goes on the Dota 2 odds, but then if you have to throw these matches on there, come on, guys, get with it right now. A lot of rares and arcanas out there and even commons that people want to bet on the table, but we are going to have to hope that we can get it together eventually, so we're working on it right now. But still, at the game at hand, we're well into the draft. It's Skywrath Mage and Tidehunter first grab here for Pain Gaming, and HamHam Clubhouse get a hold of Razor and followed up with, once again, Mr. McGee, Ogre Magi.
Yeah, this is just, I know Pandago loves Ogre Magi. He's been wanting to play this hero for a while now, and the fact that he's currently in the meta is probably making him so happy currently. Going back to what you talked about, I'd say King RD is definitely up there, but I think Smash is probably the best South American player right now. I don't think many would dispute that, but King RD, back in the day, he used to be one of the best, if not the best, so I think he still has a lot to offer, and they're going to have to play really well here up against HamHam. This is on US East. This is not an easy team to face up against, and we'll see how things do turn out. I want to actually check out. I'm not sure who has the edge in terms of right now the standings. I'm going to go ahead and look that up real quick.
I actually got it here for you, Mott. Don't worry too much.
All right, nice.
I'm supposed to be as responsible as possible with this kind of stuff, but as far as how it goes, it's still pretty youthful for both of these teams. Gerg Squad, or HamHam Clubhouse, are currently 0-1. They didn't have a real strong showing last time. MSS did go on the back of a Terrorblade, but couldn't quite pull it through. And for Pain Gaming, they are standing at 0-2. So a win is very much needed here for both of these teams to kind of get the momentum to continue that streak and hopefully secure a top spot in the top 4.
Yeah, everyone's vying for that spot, and this is tough. You look at the Chinese qualifiers; there is vastly less teams in that qualifier than there are in the American qualifiers, and that's why you talked about how it's so youthful. And how we have really not played that many games. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's just so many damn teams. Everybody's fighting here. It's a good sign for American growth, though, at the very least. But, we got a lot of games to go.
A lot of games to go. A lot of changes are happening in the air, especially on the America division. Maybe not as dramatic as the C region, but still, these two regions are notoriously known for having a lot of action here. The games are always very intriguing and exciting, though. You're going to see a lot of interesting stuff. But here we go. Resident Sleeper Queen herself. It's going to be Naga Siren grabbed here on the side of HamHam Clubhouse. I would wager that if they keep their prominent roles, it will be an MSS core Naga Siren here. And I already talked about how in his hands of Terrorblade, he pulled out some really nice farm, but ultimately they did a fantastic job addressing him early in the game and keep the pressure happening and just kind of took him down a peg. So hopefully he's looking to get some extra space here. They already have it on the back of a Razor who can, snowball in his own right, should be able to dominate out and put a strong presence in the mid lane. Given that maybe Pain Gaming looked to counter back, they could get a hold of something like a Viper, but Viper doesn't really hold much against a Naga in the late game, but we'll have to see how much they favor as far as countering the Naga or having a strong presence in their own right in the early laning phase.
The problem is they actually ban out the Ember Spirit, which is a hero that would have worked rather well against the Naga, so they just kind of shot themselves in the foot there. You mentioned how MSS is going to be playing it. Arif, the man who ran away from home, he'll be on the Naga Siren. This guy's back in New York, and he's looking to play well.
And just with that typical Dota trend of not retiring, like, oh, I'll take the time off. I got school to do. No, he's back at it already. You can't get rid of the Dota itch. It's very much real.
Very much so. And 55 seconds now left to reserve time. We see again the Tidehunter like we talked about, so they have team fight potential. Question is, what do they go for next? Let's see.
One of the supports that have always been considered for me, and they still have a support to grab, is it looks like they're going to counter back with a PA here. Has been typically someone I like a Lion a lot. Both the Mandrain and Hex work to instantly remove illusions on the field for many illusion heavy, kind of a heroes, or they could also favor the wave clearing. But now they need to consider maybe building on a little bit of extra amplify here for Phantom Assassin. A Magnus in the mid lane has been kind of one of the go-tos for a lot of teams when they run with the core PA, because just benefiting from that empower, and then a Wisp also to add an extra bit of over the surge, the extra bit of attack speed. And they do need a mid laner, and they do need an extra support, so Magnus and Wisp could be a viable option here for Pain Gaming, but that also counts on the fact that you have a strong Wisp player on your team, and Magnus player at that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they go for those. At the same time, I don't know if you pass. I mean, we don't see as much as we used to, a long time ago, but at the same time, Hero's still very strong. With the PA, it's probably pretty good in this situation, and very easy to take down, the squishy support of Crystal Bane, although Ogre is a bit more difficult, but still with the PA, it shouldn't be that hard. Kind of easy to take down a Naga if she doesn't have Song up and available, and you want to put that Song on cooldown whenever possible. And I imagine HamHam Clubhouse, they will be getting involved with said Naga early on. I mean, you're going to get farm, obviously. They'll more than likely, I don't know, they could put him safe lane, they could have put him in the mid lane. I really like Naga safe lane a bit better because you're a bit safer. And Pain go for the line, which I'm a big fan of. I mean, they'll blow up some of these heroes with Finger of Death.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like Lion against illusion heroes because you have two abilities that can instantly remove the illusion, and the burst also works nicely. It's not like Naga is going to have the biggest of life until she, after she gets a hold of her Radiance, and then she can look to build a little extra sustain, grab something like a Heart. Even a Manta would add a little more meat on the bones, but before that point, Finger is going to be a big burst tool, and obviously the CC lockdown is going to be huge. It's not like Naga, as it is, typically goes for a very early BKB, so I think it works out pretty nicely for him. And, going down that kind of a road. Also, they're not going to have a whole lot to add on top of the PA as it is. So that's a bit of a concern, for her having to go toe-to-toe with a Naga later on. It's going to be banking more on her having that extra bit of cleave, which a Magnus can still be a great grab here if they want to go in the mid lane. But Magnus against a Razor is not a great matchup. So it's whether they favor, pretty much sacrificing the mid lane just so they can have a stronger PA, or if they want to be able to have a strong contention in the mid lane against a Razor. Now, also a fun little bit of synergy is Skywrath Mage with Lion. You don't only benefit from, great lockdown ability to have a good Mystic Flare follow-up, but also just the Ancient Seal with like a Finger would be nice.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
So that's not too shabby.
That's gross to think about. I mean, there's that potential, and that's good. I mean, Skywrath is pretty quick. That kind of makes up for the Lion's lack of move speed early on in the game. So they'll be able to initiate with a concussive shot, follow up with like an Earth Spike or something. I think Lion is really underutilized in terms of supports. There's a time and a place, and Lion's so good with the Mana Drain up against Naga Siren and the Naga illusions to be able to just take them out of the fight. It's huge. So, and also the fact that the cooldown is so short once you level it up. It's like a 5-second cooldown. You could just keep spamming that on all the illusions and just get them out of the fight. So.
Getting a hold of the illusions is another thing, though. They'll be pretty good about
Yes.
spreading them in their own jungle and the opponent's jungle, cutting creeps and lines but one man. So really getting a hold of them is going to be tricky. But when it comes to those big fight kind of breakouts, and she's banking on
10
having all those
seconds
illusions
remaining.
doing work, he'll be constantly safe. And if he even gets under pressure from those illusions, it'll work out nicely. And here we go. You know, I
Dire
said it
team
last game,
pick.
when you kind of go for this almost 4 protect 1 kind of a style, when you have a strong late game presence, but they need that time to farm, they need that space. You need someone to draw in the attention. You need someone to snowball out of control. Timbersaw as an offlane is one of the best. He can really build up a point. If he has a decent laning experience, gets a hold of his arcanes early, you know, heaven forbid he gets a hold of a, you know, a bloodstone at a reasonable time, he could really be a strong dominating force. He has heavy
10
burst,
seconds
and he can take it to
remaining.
these 2 supports like nothing, as well as PA is too. So this guy
5
has a really
seconds
strong
remaining.
presence here in this game with the draft already at hand.
Yeah, this is a really solid draft I like
10
from HamHam
seconds
Clubhouse. They have
remaining.
plenty of space creation. They're not relying too much on one right click or either magic damage. They have a little bit of both coming in. Morphling is going to be the final pickup for Pain Gaming, and that's something that does work really well up against the Naga Siren late game. They'll be able to manage drain away a lot of the illusions, find out which one is the real one, and maybe even just shotgun her down. And Morphling will have plenty of chances to not only just counteract the split push, but get involved in team fights. And a hero like Morphling is also good because you can involve him early on if you send him mid. But it maybe is going to be King RD mid and we'll have 4DR playing the Morphling in the safe lane. We'll see how things do turn out here for both squads as we are going to jump into the game.
Yeah, somewhat greedy here from Pain Gaming. 2 prominent heroes that do need a lot to really come online. That being, of course, the Morphling and PA. Plus, your Tidehunter really needs to get his, you know, standard buildup of the Blink Dagger at least. Arcanes, if you need the extra bit of mana
10
pool, or considering
seconds
going with a
remaining.
refresher down the road. Skywrath Mage and Lion can kind of get a lot done with just the
5
tools they
seconds
have, but they're going to be
remaining.
pretty flimsy targets if Timbersaw does get to that pinnacle point, and if they're going to be sacrificing a lot of their own farm for their cores, then that is something that could very well happen. But we're going to need a bit of a small pause here at the start of this one, as we have our 5th player here from HamHam Clubhouse looking to get it on the line and underway. Now, if D2 Lounge was up, Mott, and you had rares to spend, and commons rather, or uncommons or arcanes, based on draft alone, who do you got?
This one's actually pretty close. I really do love Pain Gaming's draft, but I feel like HamHam, I think, probably going to take this because they have plenty of space creation for this Naga Siren, and they have a Razor who's going to win his lane, regardless of who he's against, unless he's going in like a solo versus a try or something like that. 3-3-2. What? I can't predict
Man.
my victory. What are they talking about?
They're just
I don't know
joking
what's going
around. It looked like HamHam was trying to say that this game's in the bag, but you can't do that here, buddy.
No.
Sorry, that's not going to be permitted. So just typical friendly banter coming out from both teams right now as we still wait for our 5th person to come back online. So Crystal Maiden, I want to talk about for a moment. This is a hero that has been a bit hot and cold, and I say that without the pun, of course, but, you know, she had been renowned as pretty much one of the worst supports you get in previous patches. Did get tweaked a little bit. Her jungle presence is a little bit better, you know, with her frostbite, and now does much more damage on neutral creeps, up to like over 1,000 damage at its highest mark. So you could definitely find a little bit of reliable farm on the side. And certain teams' lineups, it works pretty promisingly. We see teams like Vici Gaming in the hands of, I believe, FY, who likes to play the
it's
Crystal
FY.
Maiden. They had strong pressure. We've seen her even linger around the mid lane. I can't remember what game it was, but man, it was just devastating. Her Crystal Maiden was lingering in the mid lane, almost as like a dual lane, and she constantly was there and took it to, I believe, the Brewmaster, and they took him down at least 4 or 5 times before he even got to level 6. It worked so nicely. I believe it was a FY Crystal Maiden with a Super Ember Spirit tag team in the mid lane.
that sounds
It was
about
just
right.
devastating.
Yeah, that's just, they love to run those kind of supports where you could just have FY be a damn nuisance against whatever hero they're playing, and then obviously Super can grab kills very easily with the burst damage coming in from an Ember Spirit. Crystal Maiden's just a hero that, you know, a lot of the time you have plenty of good lockdown. You're kind of squishy. You don't have great move speed, but oh my god, MSS. Arif, you've got some issues, buddy.
Hey, you know what?
Jeez.
Sometimes you gotta get that pre-show poop in, you know? You gotta be after you're cleansed, you're regular, and you're feeling refreshed and ready before you get the game underway. It's important to stay regular, kids. Get that fiber in you, as MSS is gonna be one of the prominent, I guess, speak outs of that. But look at that, they kind of switched up roles a bit. I was figuring MSS was going to be their core, but he's actually opting to play the Timbersaw, so that does, of course, leave reality on your Naga Siren. So they changed things up a bit. That could be because of their relatively different lineup and who can really play what kind of a role, or it could maybe be that they got the timber and maybe MSS feels more comfortable on it. But I guess with that said, and we do get the game underway, this is our second game of the day. We got 5 best of ones for you folks, but here at the Summit 2 by G2A.com America, we're proud to bring you some more action. I'll lead things off with your introductions on the side of the Radiant. The Gerg squad, but now known as HamHam Clubhouse. Sorry, what is hip? Sorry, our buddy. But it looks like it's going to be Pandago playing your Ogre Magi. Reality is going to be playing that Naga Siren. Finishing out this trifecta on the bottom, it's going to be KRS playing your Crystal Maiden. Mid lane is Dark Falco, also known as Justin. He's going to be playing your Razor. And on top lane, that leaves a Reef, a.k.a. MSS, playing your Timbersaw.
Dark Falco, best mid of 2013, I think it was, maybe 2014. I don't know. He called himself that for a period of time, and
yeah, I'm looking for him to prove it now.
Yeah, he's got some work to do, but I mean, here in the Summit, they've got some great teams to play against. For Pain Gaming, your South American squad, Baga, your line up at the top lane with Ned helping him out there on the dual support, Scarith Mage. They're looking for the rune, and they're going to grab it here. Baga will grab the bouncy. Top lane, it is going to be 40R, safe lane, Morph lane coming out. Looking to just get farm with those inscribed Blade of Tears, Ethereal Blade, cosmetics. Meanwhile, mid lane, it is going to be King RD, the legend.
Whoops.
Disconnected.
I need another timeout on the field. That King RD, just as you call out his name, is maybe also feeling the need for a bit of a poop or something.
He misses black, too, so that's really unfortunate. That's really rough for PA. I mean, up against Razor, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
The good thing about PA is you get Phantom Strike back if you have a creep wave, but Dark Falcon should be getting plenty of static link here, and this could be troublesome for the poor PA. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know if this was in the cards for Pain Gaming when they started this draft. They had gotten a hold of the PA, and maybe just as the draft developed, they opted that they weren't going to rely on her as their sole carry, and then had to change things over, grabbed a hold of the Morphling, and then shifted maybe PA to the mid lane, or maybe this is something they were banking on. Now, the last time we saw Pain Gaming play, they opted for a Lifestealer grab, which I thought was pretty intriguing as it was. 40R was actually doing a fantastic job, but it was his own undoing. It was a big mid lane fight. I was here casting with Merlini, and he unfortunately did a buyback, teleport to mid lane, and could not get the rage off in time. Ultimately died back, and that was enough for the nail in the coffin. So he's looking to try to bounce back and get redemption from their previous errors in the first game in the Summit 2, and want to be able to make a strong showing here. But I'll let you finish out your introductions as we get back and underway.
The last one, and in the bottom lane, it will be Grent XD. XDDD, then playing the Tide Hunter down this bottom lane. So
I thought it almost said Green TD at first. Which I'm a big fan of Green TD, the old Warcraft 3 mod.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a
a great TD.
There's a lot of good tower defenses, and I mean, I'm excited because custom games are going to be coming soon. I've got a feeling, man.
It's
They're
always
going to
nice
be coming
to
in.
be able to step away from Dota 2 every once in a while, and
Oh,
without
yeah.
benefits because you're still playing the game. Look at Pandago. He's got the haste, throws out the early ignite, and says, I want some grilled watermelon right now. Clubbing it home right now. Man, look at the damage. Boom! 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 Takes him down to half-life like nothing. That tower is not going to do anything to me. I'm Ogre. I got 7 armor.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, by the way, 2 tower hits? Nah, it's not doing anything, man. I got 625 HP, armor reduction up the butt. And we'll maybe see Pandago grab an Orb of Venom. It's pretty good against the Tide Hunter in this lane. I think they could easily grab some kills, too. So look to see Pandago start clubbing even harder and add some poison to his little club there.
He's got a couple polarities, so he can throw out the ignites all day and just force the Tide Hunter to pull out the early regen. He already had to use 2, it looks like. But
MSS! Ooh, he almost went down there in the top lane. Ned zoned him out. He used all of his mana to try to kill MSS in this top lane. Got very close to doing so.
forced to use his salve, too. Still have 6
Yeah.
tangos to work with, which is more regen than the opposing offlaner, but it looks like both offlaners are going to be a bit struggling early on, as they're going to be zoned back by some pretty hefty supports here. The Ogre, of course, on the side of HamHam, and for Pain Gaming, they have that Skywrath Mage who could just dish out serious arcane bolts early. And of course, with the line right there, it certainly does not help, because even if they get a hold of him, they could lock him down, and not even a Timber Chain would be able to help him if they time it properly.
Yeah, I mean, MSS, you think of Timbersaw as a hero that can survive pretty well in an offlane, but in this situation, you've got to be very careful. No Timber Chain. He has reactive armor, so he'll be okay. What I do really like in this game is they have the Crystal Maiden for the Arcane Aura, which means that mana regeneration at some point will not be an issue for a lot of these heroes. And I mean, we'll see how they go. I mean, and at this point in time, you're just going to be jungling for the Crystal Maiden. You see him getting up to level 2. They could theoretically kill Grand XD if they wanted to in this bottom lane, but nah, Crystal Maiden just wants farm. She's a bit greedy. She wants that gold, so.
Yep, not taking advantage of that Frostblight, man. It was tweaked up a bit, and she's definitely benefiting from it for now. And top lane, Baga still has that invis rune. They're not really finding the window of opportunity to get a hold of MSS, who now levels up his Timber Chain as he reaches level 2. But, you know, they would have loved to get a sweet pick off there, but MSS knows that that line is missing. And they also, of course, had the ward right here that saw that he has invis, and he was trying to fake where he actually was, and he knows he doesn't want to get overzealous for now.
Grand XD doing the good old Dire stacking the Ancients. Probably going to go for 3 points in the Kraken Shell, 2 points in the Anchor Smash, or is it vice versa? I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's 3 in the Kraken Shell. Regardless, that's going to give him some farm using the Ancients, so I like the choice.
It's not as easy as it used to be. You know, with this new map change, it used to be a lot easier for him to kind of move on over and get the stacks. Now he has to kind of like go around the whole block, and kind of causes a bit of troublesome to try to invest the extra bit of time on doing it. You're almost missing out on a whole creep wave just to go get a stack. But when you're in a lane like this and you're not getting a whole lot as it is, you need something to fall back on. So he'll just soak up the XP while he can and benefit from that farm later on to get a hold of maybe a Blink Dagger in the near future.
Yeah, so I mean, that's going to help him, like you talked about, getting there. And just getting some farm. Baga top lane. MSS is going in. He Timber Chains up. He doesn't have Whirling Death, so MSS maybe caught out.
Oh!
Timber Chain doesn't get there. Back the waveform up the Earth Spike. First blood. Great bait from Baga. Patience coming in to use that Hex up and turns him into a frog and brings him down.
Yeah, he really baited him out for that one. He was taking a lot of shots right there, and MSS felt like he would be able to converge and get a kill and benefit from that first blood, even with only level 2. Now King RD throws up the dagger to slow down Dark Falco. Dark Falco gets the link out, but benefiting from that rune is going to be your PA, and puts it right in the bottle. It's going to be a regen very nicely, and Dark Falco will have to return back to lane with that loss, and that leaves the bounty to be picked up, though, by their side. The Crystal Maiden, who had been working in the jungle for the most part, goes and grabs that up for herself, and also Pandago getting in on the jungle action right now, bringing that creep-equilibrium, like we like to say, back towards under the tower to allow Reality to build up a little bit more farm on this Naga. For now, she's having a pretty good time, but Tidehunter knows that they're not nearby, so he's just kind of getting as close as he can to get that farm. He's only got 1 CS, however, while MSS, the opposing offlaner, has 2 CS. So both are a bit in Strug City right now.
Yeah, the thing is, though, MSS, although he died, he is pulling up, and this is the trade-off. Pulling up and dying, but getting levels in the process is definitely worth it for MSS. The thing that's not worth it is that they gave some gold to 40R. He's going to have a 5-minute Midas on this Morphling. That's scary to think about. I mean, he's leading the CS by 1, but at the same time, that's going to be some decent, gold going his way in a couple of minutes here. He'll probably get an early Linkens or something.
This is going to add a lot of pressure on their Naga later on, and if Morphling gets online that much sooner, he can start really taking out some of these supports. Ogre's a bit tougher to crack, but Crystal Maiden would pretty much stand no chance if he decides to go down that road of a shotgun, and that could be a lot more farm coming his way. And I don't even know if the Naga would be able to hold the candle to that. But looking to come in from behind, the smoke from the 2 supports to look to get a hold of MSS. So they time out the CC properly, and even this Ancient Seal, he will not be able to Timber Chain quite in time. They do get off the spike. This forces Pandago to rotate in, gets out the Fire Blast and the Ignite just to kind of shoo them away, but they do commit 2 rotations of both supports here just to aid out their MSS. So I would have to say the Smoke Cake was quite successful there for Pain, so now Tidehunter's going to see this happening. He'll be able to find his farm on the bottom.
Exactly. Great XD is going to get some more room to work with here. He'll get up towards his Arcanes, but the thing that I do love about HamHam, and I talked about the Crystal Maiden earlier, is that you talk about mana regeneration coming out for a Naga Siren and being able to spam the Riptide. You have like level 2, level 3, even Arcane Aura. Boom, you're just hitting your E button. You're getting plenty of CS. Riptide is such a good ability for Naga Siren as well. And look at how much, I mean, he's got a Basilius, he's got Arcane Aura, he's regenerating mana pretty quickly. And this is only at level 2, so I'm excited to see where this goes. And he's got 43 last hits. A little bit of that is coming from the jungle, but still, I mean, can't complain. CS is CS, so.
Concussive shot harassment coming out on the top from Ned right there, but still more and more space. 40R, man. Got that Midas. He's already putting it to strong use right now. So though he's behind the Naga in CS, his farm is going to be built up that much quicker. And I'm curious to see here for Reality on the Naga if she's going to take it from this point on and go straight for the Relic or go with the old reliable buildup of maybe a Drums first. But I would imagine as long as she has the free farm, she'll just try to get a hold of that Relic sooner than later.
Yeah, I think maybe she picks up an Aquila, and then you don't need a bottle. You usually see a mid-Naga go for a bottle. You can still go for it in the safe lane, especially because you're farming the jungle so often. But I imagine it's just going to be a straight-up Relic once the Aquila's done. And very quiet game, like 7 minutes in, Resident Sleeper, 1 kill.
Yeah.
Not much
Both
happening.
teams,
not that I'm complaining, but
both teams, they're not very aggressive. They're just more like, we got mid to late game. And we're waiting for that optimal point. I mean, MSS's Timber Saw needs to wait till mid-game. You know, at this point, it's even harder for him to get going. He's 10-3, though. He did find a little more CS, still on top of the Tidehunter in the other lane. But Tidehunter is also waiting. You know, he's got his Arcanes. He gets a hold of a Blink. Then he gets to be able to pull out the Game Changer. MSS gets a hold of his Arcanes, and he can build out more resources so he can start to deal the heavy burst on the back of a Chakram, which he's still trying to get a hold of. And obviously Morphling and PA and... You know, obviously Naga, these are heroes that are just not going to be involved in anything too soon.
Yeah, I mean, Morphling might come in wave form, but he really, like you said, he just wants to get up to his first couple of items. And I mean, you could come up with a song for the Naga Siren, and that's fine, but now it looks like Gerg-HamHam finally 3 Anchor Smash, 2 Crack Shell, time to take the Ancient Stack, get him closer to a Blink Dagger, and he should be going for that. KRD, he actually has a lot of CS, 41 in the mid lane. Dark Falco has not been shutting him down as effectively as we thought he might be able to, so.
42 to Razor's 41, now 42. That's quite surprising. We were expecting the Razor to be able to really come out on top of this lane, but the use of that dagger from King RD, a veteran, is able to really take control of this mid lane, at least hold his own, which is very, very promising for this PA. Now you see a rotation. Ned makes his appearance towards this mid lane, and we might see if he looks to try to add pressure more on this Razor, but for now they're just kind of waiting impatiently. We saw also rotations from HamHam at the top, hoping to get a hold of something, but they don't. Timbersaw now gets his level 6, so he has Chakram in his arsenal, ready to go. And after, wow, look how low, he was down to like 3 life. The Tidehunter there almost fell to the at that point.
That would have been bad. Yeah, 11 HP as he walks away. Yeah, he had nothing left in the tank, so GrandXT is making the long walk back home, but he's thinking his lucky stars he's alive. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Reality has 2k gold. And again, I talked about it. He got the Aquila. He's going to grab a very early relic here. I think this might be like a 12 to 13 minute relic here in the safe lane coming out from Reality.
Yeah, given he holds this pace and should be able to grab that quota. But Tidehunter very close to level 6. Once they get that Ravage, they could decide to maybe put some attention on Naga. You know, follow that up with the Silence, even asleep. Won't be able to come out, but Naga is one of those pesky late gamers that's hard to gank in the early game with that ultimate. So it's a lot of pressure on them to try to burst her down and lock her down before they get to that point. But that's why you got a Lion on your team and a Skywrath Mage. So, you know, Pain Gaming definitely have the tools to take down a Naga early, even though she does have a song. So we'll see if they'll be able to open up on her and take her out.
They are really committing to the mana regeneration. 3 points into Arcane Ore. They want this Naga to farm like crazy, and they're doing a good job with it. So they've invested a lot in this, but now they're going to smoke up. You don't have the levels in Crystal Nova that will do the damage, but they're going to try to find the kill on King RD regardless.
This will be a nice grab because Razor hasn't had as easy of a time as he would like here. King RD is kind of second-guessing the lane commitment and actually pulls all the way back. Oh, and then with TP out, they're going to go on bottom because that's where they want. They want to get a hold of that Naga, and that's just bad timing right now for HamHam as the mid's going to be gone, and then they're going to turn their attention towards that top lane while looks like Pain Gaming are going to make a go on bottom. But Naga as well also sees a lot are missing.
Oh, don't walk out there, Reality. You need to stay behind the tower. They do have the ward now out. Reality, his finger needs to be hovered over that R button right now, but this is going to give a lot of room here. They want to push into the tier 1 tower mid for Dark Falco and get them some extra gold. Oh, a DD rune for King RD. The Blueberry rune coming in for Phantom Assassin.
Blueberries, man. Blueberries,
tasty.
Blueberries. He moves on in. Very delicious indeed. And that will just benefit if he gets the big crit. Doesn't get it right there. He was actually going for the creep, but, you know, man, oh man. Both teams, though, pull out a nice smoke gank, but ultimately not going to get anything out of it. So still methodical play coming out from both. What many would consider not too exhilarating or exciting. This is just kind of leading up to the point where we're going to see a clash of the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 40R versus Naga more than likely, but you have to keep in mind you will have Dark Falco.
Yeah.
You'll have King RD helping out as well. So, I mean, it's a clash of the Titans with a supporting cast, and it feels like an all-star match coming in.
Given that really. They have, on the side of Pain Gaming, the benefit from Tidehunter's big Ravage, so the built around big initiation, but also MSS on the side of HamHam, who's someone who could deal out, you know, unquestionable burst as they're looking to maybe go on in. Quickly, Timber Chain's back. 40R moves on in. He's going to get some right clicks out. Waveform forward. He's big damage right here. He's going to, oh man, he gets him down with the adaptive strike. And now with a rotation in from Pandago, who's going to get sheeped and also stunned out. He might fall right now, and he will. That is a double takedown for 40R. The rotation comes a little too late, and then when it does, It doesn't work out, and it doesn't stop there. Mid lane, Pain Gaming are looking to open up also on Dark Falco. He does open up a big static link, and Ned might be caught out here, and finally it looks like HamHam Clubhouse are going to get themselves on the board on the back of this Crystal Maiden catch-out on your Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, but they give so much up in that top lane to 40.
Yeah.
Gets the double kill. He got right up to 1,000 gold, and he's going to maybe take this tower. MSS comes back in. MSS is not having a good start in this game, so it's a bit rough, but they're just saying, listen, we just need to get our Naga, her Radiance, we just need to get our Naga farmed, and they are so close. Reality is very close to having that Relic at about 13 minutes. Radiance might be done at about 15 if everything continues well, so they're in, I think.
This is, interesting. Naga's one to have the best farming potential in the game altogether, especially when she gets a hold of that Radiance. So things are going to turn around quite quickly for HamHam as far as how far the farm is going to go. But as for kills, doesn't get much better than that. I mean, Pain Gaming benefit from a double there on their precious 40R Morphling. But the problem is with a proper Morphling play, they can do fantastic split push. That could even keep a Naga guessing. So
yes,
it really might end up just coming down to true strategy and making the right plays and making the right calls. And 40R looks like he's going to make a call of his own. It looks like he will shift out from the top lane and go right towards top and replicate right back. So he gets a bit of more resources right there. Earlier we did see Tidehunter benefit from an Invis rune, but couldn't find the right opportunity to open up. He's level 8 now, has yet to really spend out his first Ravage, but we're expecting neither team to really go with a big team fight yet. If they get pickoffs like we saw earlier, that's great, that's one thing, but as far as committing a whole team, it might be a little bit.
Well, at this point in time, though, I mean, he's going to get a Blink deck early. He's gotten 1,900 gold, so they're probably just waiting for a Blink before he Ravages up. And, I mean, you really can't... They don't want to fight into the, a Song of the Siren. They want to be able to find pickoffs on their own terms. The best way to do so is Blink Ravage and then just lock down Reality with an Ancient Seal and Bacchus or Spike. They have Finger now as well. They're smoked up. If they catch out Reality, he's got 500 gold in the bank. He could fall and lose, lose that Radiance timing, so...
They have the tools and the potential to burst down anyone, including a Naga, if they want it. Bounty's going to be grabbed right there by Tidehunter, and they're going to just follow right behind, all smoked up and ready to go, but they're not going to find opportunity. Just a Naga illusion right there. But man, oh man. Really, really patient play from both teams. We'll touch base here with Dark Falco on your Razor. He's going to go right for the Agnum's Razor, it looks like. He's got the point booster. He's not bothering opting for any sort of early BKB or even a mech. Instead wants to go right for the, at least what I have to say for now is the good old reliable point booster at a little bit extra life.
Yeah, I mean, this is... We've seen this often, and RTZ started doing this recently as well. And like, you used to maybe like Tread's Drum, Tread's Make like you talked about, or even a BKB, but no. In this game, I think Axe is going to keep him alive, keep him tanky. Meanwhile, lots of rotations. Fire Blast 40R, he's going to Strength Morph. He's going to try to TP away, and it looks like Crystal Nova cannot get there. Frostbite not there for KRS to get him killed. So, great TP coming out from 40R. He stays alive. They stop him from farming, but I mean, they don't get the kill.
Though, King RD wants to fire back. That long dagger catches. Can he get a big crit? He can't. The Timber Chain going to save MSS and allow him to go away. Now, King RD's eating huge damage. He's get brought down to... Wow, the long Timber Chain from downtown MSS. Man, the extensions are real as MSS able to get a bit redemption from the takedown early on. He grabs a big precious grab.
Ravage, Reality getting caught out, gets Hexed as well. He almost had his... Oh my god, he had his Radiance. He just couldn't buy it. He got brought down. Great timing from the Blink Dagger for Gren XD. Oh man, they turned it around, and they're going to get this tower maybe as well. We'll see. They have. I don't think they don't have Glyph either.
A core for a core there. More of a benefit there for Pain Gaming to take down the Naga, and while HamHam do take down the PA, but that still leaves 40R up and about. He's farming very, very nicely. He's getting much, much closer to getting a hold of that Lincoln's with Ultimate Orb and nearly 1k gold already in reserve. After already grabbing a Midas, he's doing fantastic on this Morphling. Dark Falco makes his rotation to bottom and just gets a nice quick snag there on Lion with the benefit of his maxed out Plasma Field, but now he runs into Tidehunter. Is able to get away, does get a right click off, so he does TP up to the north, but now all 40R is in on the fray. And they rotate a lot to the bottom here for HamHam. And the dagger's going to slow down Dark Falco quite a bit, but ultimately Pain Gaming quickly spread out and avoid any further confrontation.
It's just so unfortunate for Reality. That would have been, at the very latest, a 16-minute Radiance. But now it's going to be a minute and a half later, at the very least. I mean, 17 minutes. Again, not that bad, all things considered. You're not really going to complain about a 17 to 18-minute Radiance, but it could have just been so much better. But they do get a kill on the back end of Baga. They could have gotten more, but MSS missed his Timber Chain and his, rather his Chakram. But 40R is going to take its tower top. They glyphed it up, and boom, it's going to go to 40R. So
Dire's
Yep.
middle
And
tower
HamHam are
is
looking to
under
return their
attack.
own bit of a push here. Mid lane,
Dire's
they
structures
migrate
are
everyone,
fortified.
all 5 here, to try to take down. It's already been glyphed right there, and they should be able to grab it with ease. So a tower for a tower,
Dire's
if you
middle
will.
tower has
A
fallen.
little bit more for Pain Gaming as far as towers go, and now 40R continues to pressure out this top lane on his Morphling. Just kind of give you an idea of how strong his early farm is, bringing in some stats that are brought to me by our very own the Phage guy, the stats man. He let us know that this is the 4th time a sub 5-minute Midas has been picked up on Morphling ever, and he's currently 1-2 with that record. So Morphling is typically not the best record as far as early Midas, but not that often that you see a Midas picked up this early.
Yeah, I mean, this 40R is having a heck of a game, and I don't remember Pain/CNB looking this good in recent months, recent years. I mean, they've always been a solid team, but I have not seen 40R play this well. It just doesn't come to memory. They have a net worth lead of about 1,500 gold, not that much, and about 1,000 experience. And Smoke of the Sea gank. Really, the problem, I think, lies in HamHam. MSS is not getting much in terms of he's got arcanes. That's it.
Yeah.
You look at the Tidehunter, he has a blink already, and they're gonna find Smoke versus Smoke Man. Uh-oh, you guys better look out here.
Naga Illusions in the neighborhood here. Hopefully they don't pull the trigger and get baited out by one of them, and it looks like they won't.
Like Ravage, maybe?
Long
Song?
dagger.
He's got
They're
a
going to get a
song?
whole reality. They'll burst her down like nothing. Quick sushi right there as the Precious Naga goes down, and she may have her Radiance, but still not enough life to kind of withstand that big burst, but it doesn't stop there. They're looking to try to get something back in return. Farco moves on in, and, well, they take down the Tide before he's able to TP away, but it looks like they want to keep going in. Baga is looking flimsy and weak like a deer with a limp right now. Oh, the Timber Drain gets stopped. He bursts him back. What a play from Baga to take down MSS before he can get taken down. A worthy sacrifice right there, and that allows King RD to just kind of make his hasty retreat. Ends up being a 2-for-2, a very favorable trade for Pain Gaming on that one.
I would love to see the look on the Nugget's face. He saw the Stifling Dagger come in, and then he's like, wait, what? And then he just dies. He gets obliterated. They throw the Ravage onto him. They just destroy him. But the Pain Gaming a 2-for-2 trade. That could have been a lot worse for them. But now they're jumping at Dark Falco, pushing too far up. Ancient Seal, coup de grace crits coming in. Dark Falco getting low, but not low enough yet. There's the Stifling Dagger, and they're going to bring him down. Mystic Flare. The artillery coming out from Ned to secure the kill.
Oh man, Pain Gaming are getting the better of most of these fights, and they take down another great core right there as we're already seeing the early makings of an illusion battle. You see Naga on Naga action in the mid lane, taking out the Replicate, and now Morphling has his hands full with a couple of the Naga illusions, but bottom lane quite action-packed. At what started as a pretty slow start, now we're at 5-7. Advantage for Pain Gaming. Last hit still Naga on top. As we switch to the net worth, it's all 40R. As he's near 12K. Now, net worth for team, Pain Gaming as well, near 2K for them. They have a strong, promising start, and HamHam are not getting that mid-game open up from their Timbersaw as they were hoping for, as he's clearing out the creeps for now, but there's 40R right there. Not going to be able to do much to that Timber, but really MSS needs to get to a point when he can really try to lay out some heavy bursts. If he's still falling short to the hands of like a Lion in some of these fights, it's very apparent that he's going to need to pull it together and shake this off.
Yeah, absolutely. They will fight King RD bottom. He's going to try to TP out. That's not going to work. Multicast coming in. King RD ignited up, and Snare's going to fly as well. And this is going to be probably Reality's kill. KRS does pick it up, but... oh, by the way, KRS also has a Midas. Interesting to note. I didn't notice that, but I just clicked on him, and there it is. And he's also got 1,500 gold in the bank as well. Yeah.
I want to say, was it Misery, I think, who's the one who pioneered this back in the day?
It was somebody from LGDN. I think it might. I'm pretty sure you're right. I think it was Misery, I believe.
Yeah, the Midas Crystal Maid, man. It's been quite a while, but she's back in full force, and I'm curious to see what she decides to invest this early gold advancement in. Maybe a reliable Blink or BKB to kind of aid out a big ultimate play, or just some sort of extra initiation on their team, which they could certainly use. But for now, just kind of benefiting from the extra XP and gold, but still very flimsy. 758 life. She's going to need a go do a little bit of lifting on her own. But we go top lane, a 40R adaptive strike. This time not going to get the finishing blow on MSS, and we'll have to pull back. Meanwhile, bottom lane does get denied from Pain Gaming in the hands of their Tidehunter.
Baga is picking up his Blink Dagger. He's going to ferry it out to himself in just a second. This guy's had a heck of a game, man. We talked about his timing for his hexes and his earth spikes has just been so damn good to watch, and he's gotten a couple of kills based on that alone, so they're looking solid.
I'm loving the Lion Grab, man. Just a fantastic hero with great lockdown and huge burst.
He's just got that giant-ass hand, man. How are you going to lose a game with that thing? Look at it. It's gross.
Third eye as well.
Yeah.
ugly as ever, but man, oh man, he can get the job done.
This should make my
He
life
really
easier.
can.
Oh man, so pressure, I imagine, is still on HamHam Clubhouse. And as far as late game, it's really hard to say, especially when King RD gets a hold of his battle fury, man. That cleave is going to work so nicely against those Naga illusions. I mean,
Yes.
it's going to be rough. Meanwhile, top lane, they're making it go. Dark Falco gets cheaped up with the benefit of that Blinking Lion. There's a burst. They get the finger off. Adaptive Strike. They don't quite have enough to take him down. He doesn't even have the mech to work with, but he does have an Agnum, so he pops out the Eye of the Storm. They take down Baga, so they get something for it. And at the same time, it's 40R who quickly makes the retreat out and slips away like you do on your Morphling. So as they rotate to the bottom, they commit a lot for it, but they still manage to grab a kill. And it's going to be an unsuccessful gank there on Dark Falco.
Apologies.
Man, I
Sorry
need to
about
warm up
that.
as well. Unique.
My,
New York is unique.
Dyer's top
I just
tower
hit my
is
microphone,
under
but
attack.
no, the Ogre Club comes in, and without that Dark Falco, probably dies there. He has the Ogre Club and the Ags, like you talked about, and they threw everything at him. And I just really love that 40R backs away, and he's like, well, listen, we didn't get the kill. I'm not going to, I'm just going to back up. Don't want to
Dyer's
overextend. He
structures
stays
are
alive.
fortified.
And he
Dyer's
looks like he
top
is going to be
tower
going
is
for,
under
I imagine,
attack.
Ethereal Blade. He's got 2.9k gold. He's very close to that Eagle Song. So all of a sudden, you talk about PA and Morphling versus Razor and Naga. It can go any which way. Reality, I haven't checked in with him in a while, but he does have Yasha. He does have his Boots of Travel, so he's getting there in terms of
Foundation's
farm.
laid.
Exactly.
And even with the Yasha, it's a little bit extra damage, but not at that point. She has not reached her final form before she can really add a big game presence. And I don't know, it's tricky. Now you got your Tidehunter as well. Benefits from a Force Staff, extra mobility, not only for himself, but for his allies when you're going against a Skywrath Mage. Force Staff doesn't hinder. Oh, he's not going against the Skywrath Mage. I'm out of my mind. Skywrath Mage is on their side, but Skywrath Mage, I was going to say as well, I had him on my mind because he's going to be the mech holder for his team, which you don't typically see on a Skywrath
No.
Mage. But,
No.
I guess you got to have someone who brings in the extra bit of sustain. It's clear that Line committed instead in getting this Blink Dagger, so someone's got to do it, apparently.
I mean, the thing is, you don't see it too often because, you don't get that much in coming out from, obviously, a mech. And, I mean, it's just, you need some sustain, you're right. You just have to have somebody carrying it. Ravage was wasted on the bottom lane. Reality was looking for maybe an ensnare, and GrenXD popped the Ravage, and Reality just avoided it. He backed away. He didn't get hit by it at all.
Oh, wow.
So they waste the Ravage for nothing. And, top lane, MSS getting caught out, will fall. 40R grabs the kill.
Yeah.
DD Rude coming in. Oof.
I saw him grab the DD earlier, and he just puts it to use so quick that I don't even recognize what's going down. His top lane, they just obliterate the Machine Man MSS, who's still trying to throw together his own Bloodstone for now. But as far as putting charges on that stone, it's going to prove to be quite the task. I mean, even your supports are giving you a bit of trouble with their additional lockdown and just how great they maneuver around. So it's going to be a bit finicky for them, and MSS still struggling to try to find his true momentum. Well, now you see the Naga Illusions going to work, spreading their farm out all over the place. Naga's at 2.2k, but we saw earlier the Morphling. Now it's still at 3.2k after already investing in the Ghost Scepter. So it's going to
Exactly.
be the shotgun build, and it might be hunting season for Crystal Maiden and for any sort of flimsy grab, even on your Naga, if they do get a hold of him.
And the Battle Fury and the
Here's
Ethereal Blade
mine.
done at the same exact time at about 25 minutes into the game. Pain Gaming, they're looking to bring the pain, my friend. It's time.
It's looking pretty good. Their itemization has come online a lot quicker than for the side of HamHam Clubhouse right now, who looks like Dark Falco. He's trying to get a hold of his own BKB with that Ogre Club already in inventory. They're trying to get more towers, though. The Tier 1 on top still
Dyer's
stands,
top
and this
tower
is his
is
opportunity
under
to really take it down. And the Glyph, not there available. He just quickly grabs it
Dyer's
right
top
there. He doesn't
tower
actually get the
has
last hit,
fallen.
however, so a bit unfortunate there for your Razor, but still puts him at 2k, and that much closer to finishing off that BKB.
Look at this Roche play coming out. Pain Gaming, they make the replicate so that they can take Roche. 40R is rather squishy, so this is going to be kind of sketchy. They don't know this is happening, so HamHam might just give this away.
Roche hits pretty hard now.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate that. 40R is getting the first
Well,
hand
he has a lot of
experience
agility, too. The thing is, he has, like, no strength, so if he gets hit up, I mean, even with all of the armor, he's still taking a bit of damage, so... Look at him kiting around Roche. What is he doing?
Doesn't look
here
like they
comes
have
Grant.
proper vision on the side of HamHam, and they're not going anywhere near it. So this,
No,
this
they
is gonna
know.
be
They don't know.
uncontested.
Yeah, it's free for Pain Gaming, and this is going to be an Aegis now. 40R is going to play probably pretty aggressive, I imagine, in the next couple of moments because of this. I mean, he has the Aegis, and he can also just make a replicate and just kind of weave in and out of these engagements, and this is frightening, I think. Now you have to be... Your vision needs to be impeccable, I think, for HamHam. Otherwise, you're going to get caught out, and you're just going to get, like you said, shot down with a shotgun, so...
HamHam feeling the pressure. They're smoked up, ready to go here. Blazing it up and migrating through their own side of the jungle right now. They might get a quick glimpse here of King RD. Nope, they will not. They just opt to go back where they came from, so looks like they're a bit lost as far as where they're looking to make something happen for now. And and really the commitment seems to be a bit lackluster on the side of HamHam, while Pain Gaming, everything is just coming up roses for them. You see Naga, though, does finish off that Manta. More illusions the merrier, they say, as she'll be able to just continue to farm out through the jungle and still trying to get to that final form, because as the game progresses and the more and more Pain Gaming get out of it, it's just going to be more pressure on Reality's Naga to try to pull it back for HamHam.
I mean, if the game goes long enough, at some point, Reality is going to eclipse both the PA as well as, of course, the Morphling and farm. So they have to find somebody to deal with this. The one issue I'm having is HamHam have, like, how often have we seen them smoke up and then do absolutely nothing with the smoke? Yeah. At least twice, at the very least. So they have to find ways to be able to secure farms, secure kills, and not get caught out in the process of doing so. So it really comes down to, I think, number one, getting smokes, and number two, can MSS be involved in these kills? He does have his Bloodstone now, but this was like a 26-minute Bloodstone coming out for MSS, which is not really where you want to be. And also, Pandago's he is very, 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 very poor, but KRS picks up an Aghanim Scepter, so you have, yes, your poor Ogre, but my god, this CM is farmed as all hell.
Uh-oh, they're making it go. Wow, there was Pandago for a moment. The crit, the slam, the shotgun, that was ungodly. My goodness.
Jesus.
Your tough big bag Ogre looked like nothing right there.
Ogre's on the menu, boys.
That was
he got wrecked.
Well, Pandago hits the deck rather quickly there on the back of a great assassination there in the mid lane, but I'm trying to just factor in, I mean, Crystal Maiden with the Aghanims, I mean, this is like banking on superior positioning and hoping that Pain Gaming don't get a hold of her. I mean, they could divert their attention on someone else and invest all of their CS, their lockdown rather, from Vaga onto maybe a Precious Core, and they won't have anything left for this little CM, but I mean, she's still 1,200 life, and we saw Ogre go down that quick. It's going to be pretty finicky to see if they get a hold. But they want King RD. They jump in Fire Blast. No multi for him. Shockham to be there as well. He's retreating back. Nothing to really jump on just yet. The creep wave is not there, so he might get caught out pretty easily here. Oh, the Timber Chain not going to be there, but the Shockham will follow it up. And it is MSS who benefits from a nice kill, and he could use it because now with that Bloodstone, he would love to build up the charges.
Radiant's middle tower has been
denied there on Dark Falco, but he might run into trouble here. He's creeping over, and there's a nearby supports and company. He's faking out the Ravage once, doesn't want to commit it just yet. BKB instead going to be popped in Eye of the Storm, and it looks like Pain Gaming might pull back. They see that the BKB might be used, and they don't want to commit.
Well, I mean, they know that down bottom Reality's pushing in, up top they're pushing in as well, so this is really appropriate. HamHam applying pressure all over the map and making sure that they don't get anything for free, essentially. So I like it. Morphling does pick up an Ultimate Orb, whether that's a Scotty or a Manta style remains to be seen. More than likely a Scotty at this point, and that's going to make him that much tankier. And it's neck and neck. I mean, you look at the net worth, and Reality and 40R, and they're jockeying for the lead right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's your Naga going to work. 40R's right there. But man, oh man, they're spreading the map very nicely, and Naga's going to continue to do that a lot better. She has plenty of slots still to work with, at least 3 more to commit to. I imagine a future investment in a heart, maybe a reliable spot for the ages, but yeah, Reaver's already grabbed. Wow, this is starting to get pretty nice here for your Reality Naga. And I wonder if there's going to be a point when Pain Gaming are like, there's going to be a window where we need to be able to take our own advantage before Naga does get to that point, and while the rest of us are still ahead with the rest of HamHam Clubhouse right now. But I don't know, man. Last time Pain Gaming played, they had a strong, commanding lead, and all it had was just one misplay, one bad execution, and the game was just done like that. Never know, man. It's Dota.
It could happen easily in this game too. At this point, I think because they have Dark Falco to help out Reality in this game, there's a very good chance they take this one. Reality is 6 slotted. I mean, 40R is farmed, and he's going to do a lot of damage, but is it enough? They have a Battle Fury on King RD. Is that going to be enough to wave clear some of these illusions? They can apply split pushing pressure. Right now, though, I mean, they're lucky. They still have their tier 2 towers. MSS getting caught out top lane. He Timber Chains away. The wave 4 might have been able to grab the kill with the Ethereal Blade on, but decides against it.
Yeah, overcommitment and doesn't quite see the tower to see what rotations could be coming. Could end up being a problem for him. as it also looked like he didn't have a replicate out, so playing it rather safe instead of overcommitting for just a kill on a Timber Saw, I think is probably the right call. A lot of people are missing on the map, so he'll just instead opt to stay here and farm it up, but HamHam are lingering nearby. He still doesn't have that replicate available, and he just opts to walk away, and he just shoots right up to the high ground and will continue to farm through his own jungle.
We have yet to see a big team fight, and that's when it's going to be crazy because CM,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing this freezing field for its first time.
But the problem is the longer they wait, I mean, it looks like, sure enough, Tidehunter, he's got his refresher. I mean, how are you going to be able to get off a Crystal Maiden ult without a BKB, and you got 2 Ravages on the field? It's going to be precious timing for her to get that off without eating too much damage.
No, she's just going to build a BKB. I mean, you have a Midas. I mean, at some point, she'll be able to finish that up. I really think a BKB is it can happen for the CM. Although there it is, the refresher. So now, I mean, I think for Pain Gaming, unfortunately, they don't have the Aegis anymore, but if they get another Roshan, they could probably just try to take a fight. So I think they actually have to take a fight, maybe.
Scotty now complete too. King
Yeah,
RD is
there it
about
is.
to have just one component, just a recipe away from his BKB. If they want to wait for the BKB and then also try to go for a Roche, that's their time to shine. They just need to keep their Tidehunter on the outside with that double Ravage ready to go, and I think they should feel more comfortable going for it. But now it looks like they might bait out King RD here in the bottom lane. This could be bad if HamHam pulled the trigger on it, and they're not committing just yet. Instead, it looks like they're going to go on the assault. Pain Gaming jump forward, and it's going to be a sleep defense right now. Are they going to regroup? They're second-guessing the commitment, and they opt to use it instead to pull back. Dark Falco, uh-oh, that was not the right place to TP. Adaptive Strike locks him in his place, and now Falco has nowhere to run, no escape, and he does go down.
Meanwhile, mid lane, MSS is pressuring, but he decides not to come in for that fight, even with bots. They are going to TP back and try to defend the 2-2 tower. He'll TP up top. They'll try to make it go on 40R, who has no replicate, by the way, but he has a Scotty. They missed the Chakraman snare. Is going to go from reality, but that's the Lincoln Sphere, so nothing they can do there. And so, yeah, I mean, good pick off on Dark Falco. Song wasted, but it's on a 60-second cooldown, so no problem. And Roshan,
We'll
again,
find
not
out
up
in
yet.
a moment, yeah.
Yeah,
The
we'll
DD
see.
also next to the pit, as if things weren't going to get crazy enough at that one point when the real team fight really breaks out. King RD balls it up, saves it for now. Just needs a little bit more farm, and she'll have her BKB, and that's when they're going to feel a lot more comfortable and secure in some of these fights. MSS pushing back. Actually takes down Skywrath pretty low, and looking to jump back is Baga. No more mana to work with, but instead stops MSS from even considering pursuing that kill.
They need to keep mid lane pushed out and bottom lane as well, so that when Roshan does respawn, they can contest it. They have the Rosh timer, so now they know that it's not going to be as sneaky as the first Rosh was. So HamHam Clubhouse, they have all of the tools to make this Roshan fight work, except for the fact that they have to go into a double Ravage, but that's neither here nor there. So
40R uses his replicate to take himself to the mid lane now, and they'll probably just push out this lane quite a bit, get some wards down by the Roche pit, and move on in and try to secure an Aegis for themselves, I would imagine here. But the nice thing having a Nog on your team is if Reality wants to, she can just simply pull out an illusion to scout out what's happening in that Roche area.
right.
So even then, nothing's really safe for either team. Just a slow-paced, methodical game, man. 10-8, 18 kills at 35 minutes in. A lot of farm on both sides, however. Nothing too significant as far as team net worth for either team. Just a slight advantage for Pain after that sweet Razor grab on the bottom. But we're going to wait for that pinnacle point.
I mean, Reality's 4-slotted with 1,500 gold. He'll probably get a butterfly next to then finish out with a diffuser blade or something. Maybe an MKB, because at some point I think 40R probably goes for a butterfly, and obviously the evasion for King RD. So maybe instead of a diffusal and MKB this game coming out for Reality, but we'll see. He has 1,800 gold in the bank, and it's just farm city for him. But I imagine, I mean, Roche is going to have to be the big point of contention here for both squads. Smoke of Deceit coming out from HamHam. Can they get something done with it? It looks like, yes, Ned getting fire blasted. They blow him up, finally. 36 minutes in, and we get only one more kill. It's 9-10, not
we
the
might
highest
not be
kill
done
score in
yet.
the
Look
game.
who's creeping in from behind here. We got 40R making a move. King RD's going to scout out Pandago. He's got a DD to work with right now. Pandago is gone. So it's a support for a support. An easy grab there for the two cores moving on through. And Tyner comes in and is just hoping that HamHam are lingering about so he can put to use that double Ravage. And hopefully this won't be the second game straight where we see a Tidehunter with a refresher Ravage and yet to put it to use. And when I asked before about how much statistically it works out to the benefit of a Tidehunter with a refresher, typically they have like a 75% win rate when they get a hold of it at their third grab. And But last game, obviously, he didn't really get to put it to use. This game, might get lucky here. Potentially bottom lane. You see MSS putting that Agnes to use. The double chakram is going to use very nicely for the late game of Timber. Adds huge, huge damage, but also wave clearing, which could definitely be to their benefit if there's going to be a lot of split push coming out from the side of Pain Gaming.
That's what Pain don't necessarily have is ways to wave clear, other than waveform, obviously, and a Battle Fury. But like in terms of wave clear, there's so much more of it on HamHam's side because they have Plasma Field, obviously Chakram is huge, Reality with all of that. They just have really good push potential. However, Reality might get caught out here. Grant looking for a potential blink. Reality's in some trouble.
She's just
Song
sitting there
cannot go.
using her illusions, and yeah, they're going to burst her down like nothing. Not even enough time, even with the heart, to get a song off. This huge burst coming out from Pain, and that should be the easy momentum to try to go into the Roche if they want.
Yeah, they could easily take Roche. They might take the tier 2 first and then head over to Roche. You'd have to buy back if you want to contest it. I don't know if it's worth it at this point to try to contest the second Roshan. I don't know if they're that far behind where they need to absolutely buy back, but 40R picks up a Satanic. This guy he's getting close to 6-slotted, and he's not there yet. He's got shreds and a Midas, but he's very close.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for another objective instead. This bottom tier 2 tower seems pretty sweet and delicious for them, and they're going to begin to lay it on in there. And it looks like King RD has got the Morbid Mask. This is probably the early makings of a future Satanic, I would imagine, as they'll just farm it up, and HamHam are not going to bother investing in any sort of buyback for Reality. They're going to reserve the money for now. They get the tower, they double back, and maybe now's the time to kind of move into the big Roshan fight.
Yeah, I don't know if they can now. He'll be up in 15 seconds. They'd have to move over first. I think they want to take all the outer towers. Pain Gaming want to take the last outer tower, the tier 2 in the mid lane, and yeah, they'll grab this. I don't think you try to fight here. Double Ravage, not something you want to fight into, even with all HamHam has, so...
So Crystal Maiden did not go for the BKB. Got a blink.
She's got a blink, yeah. I don't know about that.
Uh-oh, multi-2 on Baga. Baga does get saved, though. The Force Staff's going to be right there from the aiding Tidehunter to get him back. And they get another tower, man. So that's all outer towers now taken down for Pain Gaming. They secure a lot of the gold that was available on the map, and that does accelerate their advance in the net worth towards 4K now. And now they'll step back with no more objectives on the field to really grab it, except moving on into the base. I'm curious to see what their next game plan is going to be. If they're already timid enough as going for the Roche, I wonder what they're going to do. They could bait the Roche maybe and make a big play there. But with Naga and her Radiance Illusions constantly scouting things out, Tidehunter might have a hard time blinking on in to make a play happen.
It's going to be difficult. That's the one thing we haven't talked about, and that's a really good point that you brought up. Radiance on Gren-XD to make sure that he cannot blink in, and it's something we've seen so very often on pretty much any blink hero, and now it becomes that big of an issue here. Reality does finish up a Diffuser Blade, so I thought he might have gone for an MKB up against the evasion of...
What?
But he picks up
they
a
are.
also.
They were expecting them to be in the Roche pit, and Tide committed a Ravage from the high ground forward. He does quickly pop the refresher, so he has another one ready to go, but he was really banking on the fact that HamHam were in the pit.
40R gets spotted. They know that he's here now. They have to try to take this. They do have another Roche, or another Ravage, like you said. There's the BKB. Dark Falco static playing King RD, losing a lot of his damage right now. There's the song going, and they want to lock down King RD, and they might just. They will. They blow him up. They bring one down. Can they bring down King RD? He's still in the pit, or 40R rather. And buyback comes in from the Phantom Assassin. They back away. No song. Roshan's still getting low. They aren't taking this down. They're running into the pit now. Dark Falco. He's got the spot. 40R, Blink Ravage going in. Here we go. Dark Falco getting low. He's going to pop, it looks like. Waveform comes in, but here comes Reality. Grant getting blown up. They will get the Aegis for 40R, but look at Reality go to work. He's got to get out of there. He replicates towards the river. They grab another kill. MSS has to buy back. They're already putting so much pressure. Reality does not help his team out as KRD was going to work, but Baga falls. MSS jumping in. Here comes Reality. King RD about to go down. It's one alive. It's 40R. The Ensnare is up. 40R getting brought low. The right click. There's the waveform. He gets the triple kill. He's going to try to man up against 40R. 40R running out of mana. The Diffuser Blade going to work. But look at the damage. The Satanic was already popped, but 40R getting double chakra him. There's the Aegis. What a man fight. They're not done yet. Ooh, baby.
Grab the gem, drops the Aquila for it, and it's already enough time for another song to be popped out, and they're going to use it as a way to leave. Wow.
They stole his Aquila. They stole his Aquila. Oh, my God.
They snagged it up on their pesky little ugly courier and take it away.
Ooh,
Man,
baby,
oh, man. That that worked out as a nice promising start there for HamHam on the back of Tide, expending that one Ravage to lead things off, and then they start moving on in, and they want to desperately finish what they started. A good start from Falco to move on in. He does sacrifice himself, but it's big cleanup from HamHam to take down the rest. The big song play that isolated King RD, though, definitely helped out the start of that one. And also to note, Crystal Maiden never even got off her freezing field in that fight. So...
Yep.
a bit troublesome. Now she's building towards that BKB. That will be a big
finally.
tool to have. She's also bald right now, I'm looking at, so she also needs to invest in some hair.
She got to buy a wig, unfortunately, but
man, oh man. That's the fight we've been waiting for. It took a long while, 40 minutes, but it got hot and heavy real quick.
40R. Uh-oh. You might fall here, my friend.
No Aegis this time. No replicate to fall back on. He's getting caught out and bursted down. It's Dark Falco who finishes it off with the Eye of the Storm. Oh, man, that's a huge bounty into the pocket of Razor as well, near 2,000 gold. His heart's about to be complete now.
Yeah, that gave him 1,400 gold. He is down. There's no buyback for 83 seconds now for 40R. That's a huge play.
I'm telling you,
man.
man.
They steered their 2-2 towers, but it's coming back in for HamHam.
It's execution. Pain Gaming have already had a history of some execution flubs in the later parts of game, and it's stuff like that that unfortunately allows HamHam to really bounce back. I mean, it wasn't like they were very far behind to begin with, but now they could secure a tier 2 on the top, possibly the tier 2 as well in the mid lane, but no, they know Morphling's going to be down for quite a while, and they're just going to press for high ground right now. No Eye of the Storm yet. 3 more seconds, they'll be able to pop it, but man, there's that Bloodlust also coming, and the right clicks are going to come, and the Eye of the Storm is going to be popped. It's going to force out the glyph for now, and Tide has 2 Ravages to work with right here if they want it. Falco has his BKB. He needs to time it properly if they want to make it happen. Naga also has her song. They get the tower, and it looks like they're going to just take that and run. Now it's going to be on Pain Gaming if they want to catch him on the way out. They're not done yet. Dark Falco wants to use the rest of his Eye of the Storm, that big Agnum's Eye of the Storm, to take down what they can. And that burn is also making it very tricky for Tide to kind of bounce on in. And he's going to get so there. He gets it in now. BKB was popped, however, from Falco. The Ravages are going to catch 2, not do much of whatsoever. And now HamHam can just open up on these Rex. Oh, man, they're going to be able to take both of them if they'd like. But now they're going to press on in. They're going to get hold of Tide Hunter. MSS looking to bring the Burst Pain. He is right in the middle of a Mystic Flare and the Finger. Those 2 supports and that Burst Power take him down again. And they're going to pull back with just the 1 Rax takedown. But big, big stuff here from HamHam. Even though they lose MSS, it definitely works to their benefit.
Damn, Dark Falco has been on point with these BKBs, man. I'll tell you what, he's gotten caught out a couple times in this game, but 40R, he bosses down to the bottom lane. MS is up in 18. He doesn't have buyback, but the Bloodstone really helping out there.
Yeah.
And 40R comes in. That's aggressive. He's going to get ignited up, but that is the Lincoln Sphere. He does have the replicate, and he's going to just waveform away and replicate out. So that was close.
He got a little careless there. Could have got quickly locked down. It could have been very, very hairy for him. So he pulls back at that point. And now HamHam with advantage, especially on this top lane. The first break into the base. And it's going to be Pain that are wounded. And they're going to desperately look to try to bounce back in this one as King RD is desperately looking to build up a little more farm, possibly finish out that Satanic. But now's the point when you need to really set some reserve gold aside for those buybacks. He needs about 2 more minutes before the PA buyback is available. Morphling needs about 300 gold, so banking on the next team fight, he will have that and available. But man, oh man.
Yeah, this is really hard for Pain now. Dark Falco has a Heart of Trask. Although the Morphling is the leading net worth, Naga Siren is still doing so much work. Butterfly is about to be done for reality, which is, that's it, 6 Lottie coming out. And Crystal Maiden, like you talked about, BKB, the only way to really bring her down would be just for 40R or the Phantom Assassin to right-click her down. But if KRS is in a good position for his ultimate, there's nothing they can really do to stop her from ulting. And this will be a level 3 Aghanim's ult, which we have yet to see. She's getting close, but she's not quite there yet. And I'm excited because I want to see this.
Yeah, it's some of the big, I mean, given that you need to hope that RNG kind of works in your favor, but it's some of the biggest damage you could put out for an ultimate. So, BKB, I mean, I would have considered the BKB before the Blink Dagger, and it would have probably helped even more so in that Roche engagement, but they're probably going to even consider waiting for it. And then speaking of BKBs, MSS gets one of his own right now, so those 2 supports who had been bursting him down throughout the game are going to find that's going to be a little bit tougher this go-around. That gets a hold of that.
This is when it starts getting scary. I mean, it's already pretty scary for Pain Gaming. They're already scared. They're terrified even, but now they're pants pooping level here for Pain, as HamHam are getting so damn big on all of their cores, really. And even the CM, man, he's right. He's on the tail of Grenix. He's still somewhat behind, but okay. I think at this point, Pain Gaming, they have to get the next Roshan, but that's going to be a couple minutes away. And I think for HamHam, they just keep trying to split push and take down the Raxes and get a couple of pickoffs. I mean, that's the way they won the last little engagement, was they killed 40R on the way out. He got caught out of position and died, so he will have buyback though this time around.
And though Naga is now pretty much 6 slotted once he finishes out this butterfly grab. And just to kind of get an idea here, looking at the other big cores, there's no MKB or Pain Gaming. So he's going to have a lot more of a time. It's going to be much, much harder to not only take down herself, but those pesky little illusions without the benefit of that MKB to break through the evasion. But, you know, they also have she does eat a bit of an adaptive strike, but she's pretty beefy, man. Just kind of takes that as a light shove and continues doing what she started. But also, you got your Razor here, who I imagine is going to look to farm up that Refresher, which is going to be also very, very big in these team fights, not just for pushing, but even just for the lingering engagements and the burst down. They isolate someone like they did previously in the Roche pit. They could take advantage of the BKBs that are on the side of Pain Gaming with a good song, and they can get ugly real quick.
I mean, they have plenty of right-click damage from the Naga, and even Dark Falco, who can just steal so much damage as well. And at this point, for Pain Gaming, they just have to have one heck of a double Ravage coming in, and HamHam have been playing that so well. They've just been shutting down this Tidehunter, so that's the problem. He does have a Shivas now, but like,
the benefit,
it's gotta
though,
be double Ravage.
from these late BKBs coming out from HamHam is they have so much time to work with. MSS's BKB was used, it looks like, in mid. That might have been a misclick. Why did he?
No. There was a Morphling there, and he just replicated out. He popped the Ethereal Blade onto him, and then he just replicated once he wasted the BKB.
Okay. Well, but still, even with that, he recently purchased it. Still has 9 seconds on that BKB to work with. Plenty of time. When you compare that to the other side, 9 seconds is well on PA, so he has lots of time still to work with. No BKB, obviously, on your Morphling, so if he gets slept out, he's done for good. And that's it. Only 1 BKB on PA. But also, on the side, Crystal Main's going to have her BKB shortly. It's going to be a fresh, shiny 10 seconds to work with, and that's really what it comes down to. Pretty much the only one who's kind of fallen behind here for HamHam is Pandago, but he's been pretty selfless this game, doing what he does. He's got his gem on hand, staff, which could be the early makings of a 4-staff or something, but for now, he's just doing what he needs to do. Bloodlust and many, I'm sure, on his precious cores.
That's all he really needs to do is Bloodlust. I mean, even if he gets like a decent multicast Fire Blast, I mean, it's worth it at that point. He is not really, he's not taking anything off the map, and he's giving so much to his team just through Bloodlust alone. So I really like the fact that you mentioned it's selfless play. Butterfly done for not only the Morphling, but also for the Naga. Razor is in a really bad position. Dark Falco needs to leave and do so immediately. The Hex is going to go, though, and he's in trouble.
He might need to get this BKB off and try to find a way out, but nope, they're not even going to allow it. The lockdown is still so good. The one thing Pain Gaming do have is that way to just catch out anyone and just make their night a living hell with just proper CC timing and big burst. Even if you have a BKB or a heart, as much life as you want. If you're caught out on your own, you'll be taken care of.
That's a bad play for Dark Falco. I understand you want to take that tower, but this is right when Roche respawns. You cannot do that. You cannot force yourself into a position where you lose not only Aegis, but this time Cheese as well, right before the pinnacle point of the game. That's just a bad position, in my honest opinion. And he'll be dead for 48 seconds. Luckily, he'll be alive once Roche does respawn, but still, that's...
But Naga's doing a nice job still pushing top where that one Rax is left. It is the melee Rax, so of the Raxes they did take down, they didn't get the better of it, but still, this is going to force Pain Gaming to make sure they take proper use of those TPs, or 40R needs to make sure he has a replicate back and ready. Oh no, he's got boots of travel, so he'll always be able to double back, but that's going to be putting them in a position where they're constantly on the defensive and don't really get to open up as much as they ideally would like, as Naga's going to be the one to split push, it looks like, on the top, while it was Dark Falco making moves on the bottom. But that also puts him a step away from his item investment, which it's not going to be the Refresher. It looks like he's going to go right for the AC. He already has the plate mail there. 2k gold in case a buyback was necessary, but he will be right back up right now. And like you said, it's about that Roche time. Vega's already there, spotting it out. And we'll see what kind of engagement we get here. Last time, it was a slight benefit for HamHam, being able to wipe out the whole team with the exception of the last life of 40R. And we'll see what happens this time. They place out a nice ward, but I would consider if they smoke up. Reality leads the front. The backstaff are all smoked up and ready to go, but this Roche is going to fall quickly. At this point in the game, they're doing hefty right-click. They better get in there quick if they want to contest this one.
The illusion's going in. Oh, no, he mana drains it. They've got to get into the pit now.
There's the burn, though. He can't blink in now, but no, he'll zoning Ravage. Double Ravage. Not a lot of damage, but enough to prevent them to get into the pit where King RD's looking to clean it up, but they take down that Tide. They take down the Razor, who has to buy back, and they take down Pandego. Reality's forced to pull out the sleep and is very low on life. And you did see the Crystal Maiden ult get used, but it quickly is stopped. And now 40R is on hot pursuit from this one. They do finish out the Roche. The Aegis is going to be picked up there by King RD, who presses in but then decides to pull back. They're waiting for everyone to kind of gather around. Naga is pressing on through with those illusions. But
Reality's healing up with the heart. 40R did some work there up against Reality. And on top of that, the ultimate coming out, the Lion's Finger of Death destroyed poor Dark Falco. He got obliterated there. So that's a huge fight. Pain now also, on top of that, you gave the Aegis towards Phantom Assassin. King RD now has an Abyssal Blade. So suddenly your two cores, 40R and King RD, are looking so damn good. And Reality is all of a sudden, he didn't get much done in that fight. So this is very sketchy now for HamHam. Back and forth we go. It's like a teeter-totter. Who knows who's going to come out in front of this one.
Look at Baga. He is hustling with that haste to get a hold of someone. Blinks forward, getting a hold of MSS. He gets the Hex out, but he's a little too far ahead, but 40R. Heavy mobile unit moves on in. Shotgun blast. Looking to finish on MSS, but the save of the song coming out from Reality aids out their Timber Saw, and he does make his quick escape. Blinking on in is your Tidehunter. He does not have a Ravage available, but he's just trying to get a hold of someone. 3 times multi coming out from Pandego, the selfless one. Takes him down to about half life, as it looks like Pain Gaming are desperately trying to make moves on this bottom lane to take high ground.
There's going to be the Eye of the Storm. They're going in. Frostbite, but he does wait from away. They really want 40R. He does not have the Aegis, but he will definitely have the buyback bots in if necessary. MSS misses his Rolling Death. Now he jumps in. There's going to be the BKB. Replicate out from 40R. Ignite. There's the Lincoln Sphere. Can they bring him down? Wait for him again. This guy is slippery as all hell. He is, after all, made out of water. Forstep cannot get to the low ground. He's going to try to TP out, and they're going to stop it. The ultimate coming through 40R. He's going to have to buy back here.
He's down. Buyback is available. 100 seconds death timer. Gem also hits the deck as they've taken down Skywrath Mage. MSS sees it, pings it out, and they'll be able to pick it on up. But a huge fight right there. Pain feeling a little desperate to try to get into the base with that hasted line to lead things off, get a hold of MSS. But a great song coming out from Reality to save him. And they double back, get a bit more life on their side, and they put up a very strong defensive fight as they even take it outside of the base. And they managed to take down the prized Morphling right there. So big grab there for HamHam. Not looking to move on across the river just yet, as they do finally on the bottom. And now Reality leading out the front here in the mid lane with Crystal Maiden nearby. Still no ultimate ready and available, but creeping on through.
They're going to try to jump on her.
Yeah, they are. They're looking to go on in. They get a hold of Crystal Maiden. Another song defensively, but this allows, it looks like, MSS to rotate on in. They want to get a hold of King RD. Awful. He does have Aegis, however, but he pops his BKB instead. And it is going to be a quick takedown of that support Lion in the hands of Naga, but still pressing forward. King RD, BKB does finish right there, but he gets the 4-staff aid there from the Tidehunter to push him into the base, and now they're going to move on in. They're trying to force out at least the buyback from Morphling, and they might need to. Falco unleashes the Eye of the Storm, and they're opening up on this tower.
There it is. Buyback's up. They're going to go bottom, or top rather, for the top set of racks. Morphling's about to come in. Can they take this down?
It looks like they
the
might
tier
pull
3
back.
is very low. And they will not take the melee racks in the top lane either. So they get a lot done, but not enough to get an actual building out of this. So, but they force the buyback. That's huge. Naga still has hers. PA still has hers, but she also has the Aegis. Naga's 8.2k gold in the bank. They do get the tier 3 bid, surprisingly enough. I really wish Naga did go for the MKB. There's a Butterfly and obviously the Blur up for Phantom Assassin.
I mean, she could always take away
BKB,
the
actually.
defusal.
She's going to have 7 slots. She's going for a 7 slot. She'll probably put maybe her bots on the courier and then get her BKB out to her. I don't know. Maybe the Radiance instead. Who knows? There's a lot of items you could put on the courier here and be okay with.
The BKB 7th slot. Yeah, man, oh man. We've gotten to that point. Huge
We're here.
Farm here for Naga. As they're looking to bring it back. HamHam and Pain Man, they are going toe-to-toe here. Very similar kind of lineups right now, banking on a lot of late game presence, and you can see that any of these team fights can go any way. Especially when it gets to that point when it's around the Roche pit, man. 40R. He also is like 7-slot gaming right now. He's got his Javelin and his Lincoln Sphere is the one in the stash. As he looks like he's going to finish out that MKB. Yeah, that's going to prove to be that problematic for the Butterfly in the hands of Naga.
He puts the MKB away, and I think that's probably fine. At this point, if he gets caught, I mean, he'll probably just trade the MKB or the Lincoln Sphere on and off with another item, and he'll just pop the Lincoln's active on him and then just, put it back on the courier or something. But at this point, this is You talked about it. We're almost 60 plus minutes here for a game that, you know, I don't know. You couldn't really call who was gonna win at the beginning. You know, neither team has had like a great record currently to the summit. They're both, I think, evenly matched. So it's a close one, and at some point, though, things are going to spill over for either squad. I don't know which one, though.
One of these teams is going to be able to walk away with their first win in the Summit, too, and that's what's important to both of them, is being able to get that head start to hopefully continue a streak and build it up for them. You know, HamHam has been a team that's had constant stand-ins and roster shuffles, desperately trying to find their groove and make somewhat of a name for themselves, which they can't even hold a name between Gerg Squad and HamHam Clubhouse. While Pain Gaming have been a formidable group that have been together for quite a while. And blinking in, they're going right for Falco. Falco pops his BKB, turns on his Eye of the Storm, and now is going to just lay havoc into this last tier 2. That's going to bring out the Ravage. It only catches there on Tide, and they pull out the Song, which is going to isolate everyone in their place. Double Chakram's going to lay down a good foundation of a fight. Plus, the ultimate from Crystal Maiden unloads, and they're going to go ahead and take down the Tide Hunter. But Falco also is going to fall. Big crit to take him down at the end. MSS also takes down. And now, Mystic Flare return. They want reality, and they get it. Nice grab right there. 40R with the double kill. They do a strong defense. They don't even lose the racks. And Pain Gaming put up a strong stand right there as HamHam lose 3, including their precious Naga. Now she does have a buyback, and MSS has his Bloodstone, so it's only 30 seconds for him to come back. But Falco, not fortunate enough to have that kind of investment. It's got to be close, though. 2K.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, yep, which is plenty. I mean, 40R already sends himself to the bottom lane where he's trying to add pressure here, but they should be able to have everyone back if necessary.
Reality needed an MKB in that fight. The reason why that PA and the Morphling took no damage, she was missing a lot of those hits. You buy an MKB, and all of a sudden you have plenty of right-click to deal with some of these heroes. Just that's all they need to do. The Diffuser Blade, you could put that away. You could bring back, you could put away the Radiance even if you still want the Diffuser Blade on you. Just buy an MKB. But at this point now, they have to play some pretty big base defense. They will buy back of both heroes, and they have to maybe decide whether or not they want to use it.
Trying to slow him down desperately. Crystal Maiden throws out freeze, and it forces 40R to temporarily jump back. The benefit is MSS with that Agnums has huge wave clearing, so he can get rid of any sort of heavy push coming their way with just 2 quick clicks. 1, 2, boom, bam. Creeps are done. So very, very nice, and I think that might be more than enough for Pain Gaming to second guess going for a full commitment push. They can't even bait out the buybacks, so that is a benefit towards HamHam for now. But we could see another longer stalemate kind of a play until the next Roche is going to be up.
I love to see. Roche is going to be a big, that's just going to be huge at that point in time. It's not up yet. I think it's still got another minute or so before it does get back up. We'll see. It's about to just tell us the timer here. I'm waiting patiently. Oh, just kidding. Max duration.
That's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Bago is going to be the watchman with his third eye. Wait out for a Roche, but he'll be waiting for quite a while as HamHam have to know this is happening. They can quickly push out all lanes with the benefit of Naga and that Timber Saw and quickly get the creeps back on the other side of the river. So Pain Gaming are not going to have a lot of time to just take advantage of the map space they have. And there you see Pandago puts that gem to use, gets rid of that aggressive ward in their own jungle, and steps back. He had also finished out his Force Staff not too long ago, which better late than never, you always say, even on the most selfless of big ogre supports. That Force Staff could save someone from being caught out and locked down easily from a Mystic Flare or any other aggression, so not too shabby.
I mean, Force Staff could be a huge item. You talked about it. Yeah, absolutely. It could save somebody's life, and that could be a big swing in these team fights. Dyrus Courier did go down in that top fight, by the way. They had the Lincoln Spear on it, so I think 40 hours bringing it in, but it didn't matter. He didn't die anyways, so
look at top lane. With it. They have a Courier flying around holding that BKB for them. I guess they're just going to reserve it there for now as like a side closet for a future maybe engagement where he'll need that BKB before moving on in, but now they're just holding it there.
MSS does pick up a Hex, by the way, so that's huge. I mean, there's a BKB now for 40R as well, which he's 6-7 slotted, I believe. Yeah, he's 7 slotted currently, and maybe going to be 8 slotted soon. There's the Satanic finally done now for the Phantom Assassin. So
it's a cheese also.
Yeah,
that's like almost having 2 lives if you get him off properly.
Yep. It's going to be very difficult for HamHam to take this now. Dark Falco's his influence of this game is waning now compared to that of Dark Falco and of King RD and 40R. So At this point, if you're HamHam, you're just hoping to God you find a couple of pickoffs here and ones that don't have buyback. So,
yeah, this game has been close. No team has really. This is the biggest lead. The biggest lead so far was HamHam just not too long ago, getting about 75, 8,000. Now they're making a lane. Multicast right there, catches on 40R, and they take 40R down just like that. Big burst damage coming out from HamHam. They take down 2.
Oh,
no buyback on
Tide
Tidehunter.
Respawn 2.
Oh man,
oh
man. They're going to have to force out this buyback at least.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Hoping to God you get a pickoff. That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
However, again, the buyback is there, obviously, for the Morphling. But without Ravage now for another 60 seconds or so.
Did he not even get his BKB off, or did it just get off cooldown, man? That's big. I don't think he got it off.
The Morphling?
Morphling, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get it off. He got sheeped up by MSS, and then he got brought down, I believe.
Wow. That item investment paying off very nicely for HamHam right there in the mid lane. As they're continuing to add pressure. Still have 1 Rax at the top if they want to try to take it down, but you know, how perfect is this that Roche is now back up, and they're going to go back in. Now the 40R buyback was there.
This is going to be tough because everyone's moving over from Pain. Again, no double Ravage to come out. BKB should be back off cooldown here for the rest of the squad. You can see the BKB is up in the high ground for Reality.
Yeah.
He's ready to switch this out. Backing away, Pain Gaming. They realize that the top lane is getting pressured. 40R has a replicate. They don't have Ravage. They realize they cannot contest this Roshan. That is a big victory for HamHam. That's huge.
Certainly. Wow, they even pull out the defensive sleep just to be safe from anyone quickly coming in for a snag.
Why did KRS say good game? I don't think so.
Oops. He hit the wrong. He meant to do the timer, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
He needs to just learn to alt-click the clock at the top, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's just the easier way to do it.
That was not intentional to be any sort of BM, of course. Just a bit of a misclick on the chat wheel to get the timer off. As it looks like top, they're scouting out with the Shivas to see if anyone's up there, or maybe the Courier. But it's not going to be there. Instead, they grab a hold of Roche. And it's going to be put into Dark Falco's pocket. Still hasn't finished out his AC, but obviously you need to reserve that bit of extra gold for buyback because that's where things are getting pretty crazy. Lots of buybacks, though, available still out there. Nothing for 40R, so HamHam can pull out a big fight right now. Take down the Morphling. They could secure this game. Also, no buyback for Tide or Lion, so definitely in the favor of HamHam as far as being able to come back for a second fight.
Yeah, I mean, with an Aegis and Cheese now, this is... And the Courier obviously following up on Reality. It's go time, I think. I don't know. Again, with maybe the exception of an MKB, which I don't think Reality's going to build at this point. I mean, I think I would like to see it. They're about as farmed as they could possibly get, other than, obviously, like you said, it's either an NAC or Shivas for Dark Falco. And they're going to push straight up into the top lane. They want this top Brax finally cleared out to give them some extra room to work with here. And there's no mid tier 3 either. In fact, you look at the range racks mid, and it's almost dead too. So that's huge. This could be the pivotal fight, my friend. This could be it.
Yep, King RD, 6k gold, does not have an MKB, so can't do a whole lot to Naga with the Butterfly. Jumps in on Falco, however, who does have that Aegis, so if they expend a lot on him, including the 1 Ravage, which he already BKB, but Mystic Flare follow-up still also BKB'd his MSS, so he's not taking a whole lot from it. Crystal Main gets a very nice ult off, but it's not going to be doing a whole lot either. Burst back comes out. They take down MSS, who promptly buys back and will be able to boot to travel back into this fight if he needs to. But Reality eats huge damage, falls, buyback as well. Already 3 buybacks on the side of HamHam have to be used here, and they're putting up a strong defense right now on the side of Pain Gaming, taking down MSS for the 2nd time. Oh no, this is coming apart real quick. Reality, though, for the second life to come right back into this one. Wow, the big finger coming out. Agnum's ultimate from Baga. Burst down the team, but they're still living on. Pandago runs back. The song has to be pulled out as they call out the retreat. HamHam needs to get the hell back. They don't have any more buybacks available if they fall again.
Reality will pick up a haste rune, and they'll just get the hell out of there. That first fight, just buy an MKB, honestly, the damage would be so much bigger for Reality if he bought the MKB. Like, he didn't do anything there. He just did no damage. The BKBs came out. They had no way of taking them down. I think the Diffusal Blade works pretty well against the BKBs, I'm pretty sure. I think that's magical damage. I'm pretty sure for the feedback damage. Anyways. Nope, it's physical, just kidding. Anyways, at this point in time, I mean, that's it. The biggest victory I've seen for Pain Gaming. They don't even have to use the buybacks, I believe, for... No, they did for the Morphling, but for the PA, it's still up. So
yes, it is. Big Buyback is available, though, for Dark Falco on his Razor. But that's it. Everyone else has already expended theirs. So once they go down, there ain't no coming back. This is becoming quite the farm fest for both teams. It's been a tit for tat as far as top net worth between this Morphling and Naga. We're both at just a little over 41K. 41K. And to look at the team net worth from both on who's been taking the lead, and it's never even once exceeded the 10K mark, is quite impressive. This game is right down the middle. It pretty much just comes down to all execution. Who can come out on top in them? And we've seen both teams make big promising plays, and man, HamHam look like they might be going all in for this one. They smoke and they're blitzing right towards the top.
Yeah, if they kill Morphling, game's in a pretty good position. They're going to run right into 40R.
Oh,
but guess
they're going to
what?
run right into him. Can they get a hold of him? He quickly waveforms away. They're blinking in. They get the Frost. But they have different targets as they're going for Skywrath as well. But 40R might get bursted down, and he does. Huge takedown. That Crystal made an ultimate. We've been really curious of what the hell she's been doing this game, but she gets it right there. 40R falls, 100 seconds, no buyback. It's all on the back of King RD right now, who already pops his BKB. They lock him in place. His buyback will have to be invested here. But the Ravage jumping coming out from Tidehunter, trying to slow them down. Double Ravage to follow up, but Falco with the BKB also stands on his own and lays out big damage. King RD will fall right here without taking out MSS first. Now has to pull out his own buyback, and this is their last hope. As far as if he does not get a lot done here and he goes down, they're going to lose a lot of racks. Naga's already going to work.
This lane is pushed in. Finally, the mid lane comes in so that they can put the pressure on it, and there's no backdoor protection now coming in. The top set of racks is finally gone. They will take it down, and HamHam, they're looking to finish this game off without, obviously, the Morphling. This is going to be very tough for Pain Gaming. Jump in, Frostbite misses coming in. KRS getting ulted with the Mystic Flare. Shiva's Guard goes. There's no Ravage coming in. Dark Falco trying to work on this set of racks here. King RD comes in, just clearing away the illusions as best as possible. Sitting very far back is the Naga. KRS getting very low, by the way.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He still has his BKB to work with, but it's only 5 seconds. He pops it there, making the big play to go on in on Falco. Also pops his BKB, but now he's the only one that can fight, but the BKB does expire. They can regroup and reassess. They see a very low Tidehunter. They'd love to fish off, jump in. Then they go ahead and pull out the Riptide. They can't quite get him down yet. Turn back. Still, no one to fall just yet. Morphling has 25 seconds to get back into this one. They ultimately do take down the line, who has a buyback, pulls it out. King RD on the run to get back to the base to heal on up. They're getting what they can. Both set of racks, top and mid, now taken down. They're going for Megas. They move on the bottom. We have 10 more seconds before Morphling's going to be back up and available. Still, no Ravage to bring this one back.
I think they need it back. They only have one buyback. That's on Dark Falcon. Morphling's going to be up in 2 seconds. MSS is back in. He's putting pressure on King RD. Maybe they take the tier 3 tower. I don't know if they go for the set of racks. This is dangerous. Baga jumps in. Earth Spike, Dark Falcon, Mystic Flare. Great force out coming in. KRS getting low. Net as well. They're getting caught out of position. Waveforman. And now Dark Falco and his squad retreat. They don't want to put any more pressure on the set of racks. They realize they've got what they came for. Play passively, farm up your buyback, and get ready to go again.
Man, oh man, they move in and out and get what they want. That catch-off on 40R is what led to that whole problem. And just like that, Pain Gaming take huge damage to the base. But look at this play. HamHam are not pulling all the way back. They see 40R. They want it again.
Oh, my.
Oh, the replicate quickly saves him. He gets right out. Wow, wow, wow. A Houdini gets away from the handcuff trap there in the mid lane.
Reality canceled his song. He's going to use it. He's going to catch Baga and maybe Grant.
Oh, the illusions are just ripping down this Rex. They're going for the Megas. Bringing it down to half-life. They're just going to slow siege into a Mega Creep victory.
The rat is real. I'm surprised he hasn't bought a refresher at this point and just try to refresh and keep everyone back in the well and try to go for the tier 4s.
Certainly has the money. 12K gold for him.
He's farmed. He will have buyback in a minute 36. So at this point, even if he dies, it's going to be very hard for Pain to try to take the Raxes. And they're going to catch out Ned. What are you doing there, buddy? How are you? You're dead, my friend.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
He's no buyback, so Skyra's out of this game.
Yeah, he's dead for 93. He just bought back in that last engagement up at the top lane.
40R is trying to cut creeps or something to prevent them from being able to push in, but Naga illusions are just coming in of abundance towards this last set of racks, or the last racks, rather.
40R is manning up. This is... Pandago's not even dead yet. Dark Falco is static linking him. They have their Ravage coming in. They blow up Pandango. Refresh is going to go in as well. Earthspike Reality getting low. He's going to fall. He's down for at least 52 seconds. Meanwhile, 40R getting manned up by Dark Falco. There's the ultimate from KRS. Waveform away. Adaptive Strike. 40R so tanky. Chakram coming in. The Ethereal Blade from MSS blows him up. King RD, though, on the back end gets a double kill. The Hex up on MSS. Morphling has buyback. He jumps back into the fray. Everyone, with the exception of MSS, and obviously the Ogre will have buyback, but MSS will fall. He is back up in 98 seconds. He has no Bloodstone anymore. It's a team wipe coming out. Pain Gaming, they're holding on, man.
Holy moly, that you couldn't ask for a better defense coming out from Pain Gaming on the last one, the last legs of life, the last racks, down to a third. It's still eating a little bit of damage here before Megas are going to be unleashed upon their home. And man, oh man, this is dire straits right now for the Dyers. At 40-yard pushes down the mid lane. Now you do have buyback slowly coming up now on the side of HamHam. It was only Falco, but now Naga has it. So does Crystal Maiden, and that's more than enough for them to put up a formidable defense.
Ogre will be up. Ogre's going to be up now. The only problem is MSS will still be down for 55 seconds, but they don't really, I think, need him to push this back. And you have, 40R is the only one going down mid, and he has absolutely no buyback for 6 minutes. So now you've got to wonder at what point do HamHam buy back. They have Glyph still, and 40R is still working on this.
Still a big advantage, taking down both of top and mid lane racks for Pain Gaming. They pull out the Glyph. They're trying their best to slow it down, at least so Falco doesn't have to expend his own buyback. He only has 15 seconds.
I think
King RD's here as well. They're pushing on in. They were trying to get a quick grab on the Ogre, but they can't. One Rax falls mid lane.
They are waiting a while here.
They're going to go right for the Ford. They're going to go right for the jugular.
Back? Hit your buyback button, boys. Okay, they're going to jump in. They really want Naga to not expend it, but at this point, they have to get him in. There they go. Uh-oh. This could be it.
There they go. Moving on in. Both tier 4s have been taken down. Reality pops out the song. And they need to really put a good game plan here on this one. Looking to move on through. There's the big wave dash. Crystal Main, huge ultimate right in the middle of the field. Not going to be enough to take anyone down this time. 40R though gets caught out with the ensnare. 3 times multi as well. Locks him in place and he goes down. Morphling is out. King RD, the last lone core survivor for Pain Gaming, now gets isolated, and he's going to go down as well. Not even the Ravage is going to aid in about full 5-man takedown coming out from HamHam. Boots of travel. They're going for the end of this one, and Pain Gaming know it's over. They call out GG. Admirable effort coming out from Pain Gaming.
What a game.
What a game.
That was incredibly well played from both squads. 74 minutes in. I got to say, neither team was willing to give either other team an inch. Just fantastic game coming out from both squads. In the end, it's the Naga Siren victorious. Dark Falco comes in with a great set of plays as well. His Razor was absolutely fantastic. Amazing series coming out. 700 GPM for Reality. And what else can you say, my friend?
Good Lord. That's what I could say. Both teams worked so hard to get their first win in the Summit 2. And a well-deserved one to HamHam. But, man, Pain Gaming put up a valiant defense. It was neck and neck the whole way through. No team really having significant lead at any point. It was just back and forth. Couldn't ask for much more. It looked like a pretty slow start and even a bit of a pause there in the mid-game. But, man, oh, man, we get the cherry on top with that one. But that was just game number 2. We got 3 more, and I got to hustle for this one because we're behind schedule, being that it was almost a near 80-minute game. So we're going to roll on through here. If you like what you heard, Kyle Guy, catch me on Twitter. Kyle Guy, that's Mott. Catch him on Mott Dota. Folks, we'll be right back after that one and hop into our next game, which is going to be, and I have it right here for you. It looks like it's going to be Navi US. Nope, that's wrong. Sorry. It's going to be Leviathan taking on Infinity Stack. We'll be right back in a moment with that one, folks. Please stick around.